3, 2, 1.
That's awesome, man. Well, hey, we've talked the elementary level and we've talked the middle school level. And when you talk about this, the whole idea is as you're growing up, as you're going through these things, you can hopefully one day get to high school and get to play for a program that is as successful as the program we're going to be talking about. So we only have 2 shows left in the entire, right? This show and the next show, right? So for this,
the wrap-up show.
This is the wrap-up, right?
No, next week's
now,
the wrap-up.
I said, we got to end it with a bang, and you said we got to end it with this specific team. Tell us who we have today and why you thought we had to end with this specific program.
Well, we talk about the most successful programs in Southwest ISD, and it's really hard to not talk about Legacy Tennis when it comes to they're back-to-back district champions in both fall and spring. They've went to regionals, had a number of kids in regionals. And they do it consistently. And I think the one thing with Coach, what people may not realize is before Coach Gomez came in to run the program, there was about 5 kids in Legacy Tennis. 5. Like we didn't even, when we did fall tennis, we didn't have a chance to win because we didn't have enough people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now we have a full JV, we have a full varsity, and probably working on JV too, knowing Coach Gomez. So so it's a matter of one of the top tennis programs in the city, and it's really it started with Coach Gomez and his vision and the hard work that he puts into it, and then he's got some great kids with him as well, and look forward to talking to them.
Awesome. Well, we'll introduce Coach Gomez and the Legacy Tennis team. How are we doing, guys? Coach, how are you feeling after another successful year, sir?
Feels awesome, to be honest. The kids worked really hard all year, and to see the success that we had, it feels really good.
Yeah. And who did you bring with us? Why these 2 special students?
So these are our top juniors that we brought: Monica Wilson and Zane Marin. They're our MVP for this year for the girls and the boys.
Nice. All righty. Welcome, Monica and Zane. How are you guys feeling? Monica, tell me, junior, how are you feeling going into your senior year after 2 back-to-back great years of Legacy Tennis?
I'm feeling great. Honestly, it's so fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Awesome. And Zane, how are you feeling, man? I know we haven't got a chance to talk to you. I know we've interviewed Monica before, I believe, on Beyond the Arches and different things. Being here on Scoreboard, talk to us about how special Southwest Legacy Tennis is.
Yeah, man, it's my first time here, but these people we have on our team, I enjoy playing with them. You know, it's a great feeling sharing the courts with my teammates and winning. Going to my senior year, it's going to be better. We're just going to keep improving, honestly.
Yeah.
I love playing with my team, my guys.
Yeah, that's awesome. And Monica, talk to me. So as a junior, there's going to be an expectation, right, next year, right? You have coach right here. There's an expectation. Hey, senior leadership, right? You already have 2 years of really, really good, successful outcomes. Yeah. You got to go for the 3rd, right, to close out the career. Talk to me about the culture at Southwest Legacy, right? From Coach Gomez to Ms. Freeman to the teachers. What makes it so special being a student athlete there at Southwest Legacy?
Mainly being a student athlete at Southwest Legacy, the culture there is like just love everywhere and joy, basically. We have support from everybody. We mainly we talk to our teachers a lot, and they're very understanding. Ms. Freeman is very understanding as well. Coach, the other day, he had to talk to our athletic department.
Oh, yeah?
For our AP test, because all of the juniors were taking the AP World History, and everybody ended up letting it be your schedule till May 19th, which is next Monday. But I don't think anybody's excited to take that right now. We've all been pushing it back, but the staff works with us. The people above us work with us as well, and they don't show their dominance over us, I guess you could say. They're respectable, and they understand, I guess, our activities that we have.
Sure.
And they're very understanding of the things that we need to do, and they also celebrate with us whenever we go to regionals.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we make it to I hope we make it to state next year.
Sure.
But
sure.
yeah.
That's awesome.
That's the goal.
That's the goal. Coach Gomez, talk to me, man. To go from, like Coach said, just a few kids involved in tennis, right, to where you're struggling to compete, to then being not only competitive, but dominant for the past 2 years, and just really, really creating a winning culture for Southwest Legacy Tennis. Now, you know this as a coach, right? We're in Texas, right? Everybody always talks football. You have baseball. You have basketball. When we're talking about tennis, we've never seen Southwest ISD have a run like the way you guys are doing it. And it's for a school that hasn't even had a decade of existence yet. So talk to me about just starting so early, being so dominant with legacy. How special is that for you as a coach?
It's very special. Like Coach Wagner mentioned, when I took over the program, I think we had about 5 kids, maybe 6. It was more like a club.
Sure.
So my first day at practice, I had to explain that we don't wear blue jeans to practice.
There we go.
That we are going to condition. So it changed, but I think that allowed us to, and I mean, to be honest, I had to go recruit. I really had to recruit. And I think being a volleyball coach and a swim coach, it helped me know some other kids that they joined tennis. And when they joined, it opened up. We had baseball kids coming now. We have more athletes coming. And I think that they had fun. I think the key to our success has been keeping it like a family, keeping it tight, keeping it close, knowing that we have to work hard. So I think that allowed us to grow, because that first year we were able to have a full team. We won our first team tennis match ever. So that was like awesome in Eagle Pass. So just the building on it and recruiting the middle school kids, I think, has helped our program. Doing summer strength and conditioning for tennis and open courts has helped. So it's been a process, a big process, but the kids, their work ethic has made our program be the way it is right now.
Sure.
Them putting the work in, playing all year. I mean, we play all year, and we have a lot of boys that play in Bernie and Clemens and Steele and tournaments, on UTR tournaments. So I think that's helped the program. So it's been a real enjoyment for me to sit back and like, wow, it's come a long way. But I wouldn't expect anything else, because the kids at Legacy work really, really hard.
Yeah.
And our program, we're very close to having a freshman full team.
Nice.
So having 3 teams, but we're almost there.
All right. Well, they even more
Well,
vertical going
like
from
I said,
freshman.
yeah.
middle school
And
to
you know, the
freshman.
one coach talks about the kids that he recruited and the
Sure.
types of kids that they recruited and stuff. And you know, they probably have the most warriors on Titan Warriors of any program in the in the school for sure, and probably in the top ones in all of Southwest ISD. And so just to kind of how they can work together. You know what I mean? You get great kids, the great kids do great things, and then
Sure.
you give them more to try to be more, and that's what wins.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Are you practicing winning habits?
Yep.
And I think that's what coach kind of brought in is, like you said, no, we're not wearing jeans. Now we got to get to, you know, the expectations continue to rise and then we try to figure out how do we provide more opportunities for them to choose to work to get better as well, so that we can meet them where they are. Sure. You know, and you're not in New Braunfels where you can go to where you can just roll down the street and stuff like that to their big old tennis facility and things.
To Nukes. We do go to Nukes, though. We go to Nukes.
Yeah, and so but they've made that part of the expectations now. They choose to do those things, and that's what makes them better. You know what I mean? And so kudos to everybody here. But I think it's important to note that it's not just he's recruiting great kids, and we have great kids all over the place, especially at Legacy. But when they come in, you have kids like Ian that play baseball and they play tennis. You have kids that are playing soccer and tennis. You got all of these types of things, and so they work together to be a team as coaches to
Sure.
let those things happen as well. And so just a lot of great things. Kudos to Coach, and to Zane and Monica for leading it. And I mean, Monica, I think, is like number 2 or 3 Titan Warrior this year and everything, and on her way to winning the whole thing. So between her and Marley, her teammate, and everything, they compete. In fact, they think they were tied, so I'm starting to wonder a little bit what we're doing. But I think they had 613 points apiece or something like that. So anyway, but just great kids.
Yeah.
And great coaching. And I got to give props to Coach Beltran too, because Wes is a pretty amazing coach that really helps out as well.
Absolutely. And Zane, so I wanted to ask you, man, like you said, first time doing the interview portion of this thing. And so I just wanted to ask you, what is it as a student, right? Like, not everybody gets to play tennis. Not everybody is able to join tennis. What is so special about tennis to you that you enjoy?
I just love going onto the court and the field, the ball and the strings, and having fun with my teammates and bonding with the team. You know, like I just love the team, love the guys, love having fun with them at practice. It's just fun being this like in the sun on the courts, just being active. It's just a special feeling.
Yeah.
Everything that Brandon's not.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Except the special feeling. I give that to
All right, that's true.
But
He doesn't like the sun, though.
Monica, talk to me about for students who have never played tennis, right? Who are coming from middle school level, looking at that freshman team that you guys are building up over there, coach. Some of them might be nervous of the what ifs, of the what they don't knows, all that stuff. Talk to me about what's kind of your pitch as the now becoming a senior to, hey, come join Legacy Tennis. This is why we're special. This is why you should be a part of it.
So I usually have to explain this to the freshmen. No, I'm kidding.
She's our
fresh-
captain. She's our
The
captain.
freshman pitch.
That's right. The freshman pitch.
But no, there's not a lot of scary things in our tennis program. There's our coaches, they're great. They'll teach you your forehand, your backhand, and if they see something wrong with your backhand, they'll tell you. Trust me, because I had to get my backhand down. And they'll teach you serves. They'll teach you everything that you need to know. And the thing about them is they don't critique you to like the T of everything. They don't get angry whenever like you don't listen the first time.
Sure.
They keep on like going and keep on pushing you towards what they believe you could become. So that's one thing. Another thing would be the team culture. We love each other. We are a family. We support each other. If one teammate is out, we ask them if they're okay. If one teammate needs help or anything, we go help them. We never leave one behind. We always contribute to each other and we lift each other up whenever they need it most. Even during team tennis and spring tennis, we cheered on each other because we knew how hard it was to get to regionals. And that was all of our main goals, was to get to regionals, right, and hopefully next year to state. So we believe that mainly just family. If we stay as a family and we don't have any arguments, or if we don't get over arguments, then we need to fully embrace that and fully talk about it to get each other out of that mindset, so that we can become a family, we could become unified and just stay that way.
Yeah. And Coach Gomez, one of our favorite shows that I think me and Mr. Wagner ever did, man, is the first time 2 years ago now, being able to go and look at, okay, we have both schools competing for a district championship against each other. That's best case scenario for the podcast, right? That's the best case scenario where we go, okay, we don't have to say Legacy's doing this and Southwest, great season, we'll talk about you next year, or vice versa. We're like, both teams, we get to focus on it. It was one of the funnest shows. And then we get to do it that time. We're looking at the competition moving forward. What do you think is changing for Southwest ISD as a whole, that Southwest Legacy and Southwest High School, just the district as a whole? Tennis is really starting to take a shape that we've never seen, where you guys, we talk about it on the podcast before many times. We've said, yeah, football's competitive, baseball's competitive. I don't think there is a more competitive sport across the board for this district than tennis. You guys have really set the bar on both sides, and you guys especially at Legacy. But talk to me about, what do you think is changing in the district that tennis is taking a higher degree shape than we've ever seen?
I think since when I took over 5 years ago, and Southwest was always competitive, I think that us becoming competitive kind of like made both programs rise even better, because
Sure.
they want to compete, they want to win.
Sure.
So I think what helped us is that we worked really hard with our freshmen to get them to get better. And I think that, Southwest, like I mentioned, they've always had some kids, older kids that were really good.
Sure.
But Legacy didn't have that. We had like 2 kids my first year. But I think having success at Legacy, what's helped us is that now people want to be a part of that success.
Right.
So more kids are joining and trying out. We had a football kid that tried out this year, but then he realized varsity football, varsity basketball, powerlifting,
Sure, it's a
varsity
lot.
track,
It's a lot.
and adding tennis, it was just too much for him. But he came out and tried out.
Sure.
So I just think having the success and I recruited my butt off in the middle schools. Like I would go to Resnick and McCullough and try to get kids to come play and get them involved in our summer activities. But I think the sport itself is growing in America. Like for a long time, the U.S. in professional sports, tennis wasn't as strong, and now we're getting more American people as professional athletes, and I think the kids are seeing that.
Sure.
And they want to become that, and I just think that both programs have great kids. I know the Southwest kids. He has a big senior group leaving. They worked really hard their 4 years. And our kids work hard. I mean, I've been coaching over 20 years, and I haven't been privileged to coach a squad like this, where they're so dedicated. They put the work in, and like Monica said, like we don't have that much drama. In my other sports, you had drama all the time. Like you're like, okay, let's try to fix this. Let's try to iron this out. But I really think it's the family atmosphere. I know Southwest is tight. We're very tight. And I think kids see that and they want to join the sport.
Sure. Yeah. You never had drama when you were coaching us in football.
Never.
That was easy.
No.
That's
not
crazy.
at all. I do have a couple of questions though for you. A couple of comments, but first of all, there's something about tennis. There's a couple of sports that we get to offer that are different than all of the other sports in a very important way. And so when you play football, basketball, soccer, softball, baseball, all of those, you have officials. You know what I mean? And so you pretty much you sublet the actual integrity of the game to others to say, no, you're out, you're in, you're blah blah blah, right? And so then you get all the arguing and things like that. And what we end up with is a culture in our society now of that people don't take a lot of accountability and have the integrity to say, no, that was out. You know what I'm saying? And that's a problem that we deal with, and why we have the Texas way and all that stuff. But when you take golf, where you have to keep your score, and you have to, when you see that kid not count that shot, and hey dude, that counted. Or you know what I'm saying? Like you're holding people accountable, and you have to have the integrity to have the right score. If you ever go to a tennis tournament or a tennis match and everything and watch, 90% of the time the kids are in charge of playing with integrity. They're in charge of holding each other accountable. Was it in? Was it out? What is the score? Do you remember the score? Oh, yeah, you're right. And they have to work out their problems together to make sure that the game is played right. There's a coach there, but there's not somebody saying, here it is. And to me, that's what's missing in our society that tennis brings to it. That that's what makes tennis very special, that I really appreciate about it and stuff. And then the second part is more of a question. You know, we talk about vertical alignment and coach, and so you guys are hosting the Meet of Champions, the tennis tournament for the middle school conference this week, and I know it's very important to you to host it that day. So talk to me about that, why it is, and like what's special about it.
So this is I want to say my second or third year hosting the conference tournament. So I think what makes it special for us is that I asked all my high school kids to join me and to be there, to let the middle school kids understand that this sport, like they can see different type of kids out there that are part of the tennis program. And I think that they do a good job, like just talking to all kids, just not the legacy feeder schools. They talk to all the kids. And with the seventh graders, we do a little bit more helping because they're new. Our middle school tennis season is not too long, so they don't have that much training and preparation for it. But I think it's important for Southwest ISD and for myself is just to show the passion, the love for the game. And the kids can see like, wow, like the other day on Monday, we had open courts and there was a track meet happening. And some Somerset kids were walking by. And they're like, man, look at those kids. They're playing like really, really good. Like I wish I could play like that. So I think it's just the exposure, letting kids know that there's so many different, kids that are playing, and that sport can be for them.
Yeah.
So I think it's just the exposure, the growth, and sharing the importance of the game. Because I mean, tennis, is a sport that you can play forever.
Yeah.
So it's an awesome sport to pick up.
That is funny that the two sports you're mentioning that you have to really take accountability. People play for a very long time with golf and tennis, right? And so
I think you and I need to open next year playing a game at Legacy. Me and you.
that's how we open it.
That's how we open it.
Yeah, for sure. I think we should.
And we let Coach Gomez choose who we're gonna beat.
Dude, you don't want these problems. That was monster and weed tennis. But talk to me, students. Give me an idea of what life, what things have you learned about life through tennis? There's so many things you take from different sports, right? There's so many ideals you take through coaching, through leadership. What's really helped you that you can translate into your young lives as you continue on as being seniors, after high school, going into college, or just going into your adult lives as well? What has tennis really helped you hone in on as a young adult?
In my eyes, I see it as, like he said, the integrity part, calling people out and having accountability. That's a huge part, because that happens every match. People are going to call something out. People might see something different, but you have to hold them accountable and have integrity. And then I feel the teamwork that can help throughout your life with like communication and talking to people, learning how to talk to people and the way you do. And I just feel, the integrity and the communication part. I feel like that can go a long way in your life, being young and going into an adulthood.
Sure.
Works forever.
Gotcha.
I would say for me, it would be basically leadership, taking ownership and accountability as well. Mainly, I would say in tennis, you're using your mind a lot. You talk to yourself, you cheer on yourself, you have to have that inner coach, as we have learned in Titan Warrior.
That's what I'm talking about. Extra point for you.
That's
You're
what
in-
614
You
now.
just went in front of Marley.
No, I can tell her that. But no, it's really about your mindset. And as we go on in life, you're gonna need your mindset. If you don't have grit or drive or any goal in mind, then you're never truly gonna reach it, or you're never truly gonna strive for it as you should. And the hard work and dedication that you need to get there, it's not gonna come because you don't have the end in mind. And if you truly really want that career or that business or whatever, in tennis, you have to learn that strong mindset.
Amen.
Right, I'm gonna run through a
Hey,
brick
man,
wall.
like,
Let's
let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So, Coach, you have two
Now all we have to do
students-
is learn how to serve.
That's right. Yeah, you have two students who now gave incredible answers, right? And I don't know what it is about this new generation of student athletes, but they're just interview ready. Like, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's because they're all TikTokers.
I don't know that. I don't know that. I don't know
They interview themselves every day.
Yeah, there you go. Talk to me, Coach, though. So, one of the final questions I want to give you, and I don't know if you have any other final questions, but the final for me, the expectation is so high now for Southwest Legacy Tennis as far as just the success, right? And just the consistency and keeping that up. It's been 2 years. You have two great juniors here who are going to be in the team next year and leading the Warrior program over here and over here as well. But talk to me as a coach, what is the conversation you have with the students? And then what's the conversation you have with yourself as far as preparing for expectations next year and trying to hone in to continue this consistent winning culture?
Yes. So as far as myself planning and getting prepared, and with Coach Beltran, we talk a lot. He and I, Coach Beltran, first of all, has been a tremendous asset to our program. And before I answer all this, I want people to understand the buildup of us in 5 years. First year, we had one regional qualifier. Year 2, we had 2 qualify. Year 3, we're at 4. Last year, we had 5. And this year, we sent 8 kids to regionals. And I think that's just the preparation, the planning, and having an assistant coach that loves the sport, that knows the sport, that can help the sport grow.
Yep.
So Coach Beltran has helped us and Legacy tremendously. So props to him, because I don't know if I could be here right now without him and with these kids. But planning is crucial, because it's not college tennis, it's not college athletics where you go recruit the kids that you want. You get what you get, and then you got to work with it.
Sure.
So we sit down, we plan, like, what do we need to do? How are we going to work this summer out? You know, what do we need? What do we need to work on? So like last summer, it was footwork. Let's work on footwork and second serves. We got to get better on second serves, and we got to work on footwork. We're having those conversations, but we're going to make a plan for this summer, but it's the same thing. It's just planning and getting ready for that. I'm sorry, what was the first question?
First question was just, what's the conversation with the students as
Yes.
far as preparing for next year?
I think it's always been the same. It's going to be the same. Doing better, getting better, having fun, and compete.
Yeah.
Because you got to compete. You got to go out there and compete no matter what the circumstances. We had Ian and Mariah one time. They were down 0-5. They came back and won 7-5 and advanced to the finals of that tournament. I think it was in Uvalde. So, like, you can never give up because it can change. And I think that we always tell them, like, it doesn't matter what's happening right now. It's what's going to happen next. You know, being there and going to compete and relax and have fun. So we constantly talk about supporting each other, having each other's backs, but go out there and compete. And like, that's why I think Titan Warriors is such huge with our program, because they want to beat each other and everything. Like, even like with grades, she's ranked number 8, it's number 6. We have another boy that's number 5 or 4 in the top 10 of their class.
Wow.
You know, and they're competing. Like, we had like she's out AP testing. Like, the day of regionals, we're going to leave, and they had an AP testing. And I was like, hey, Coach Bocanegra, we need to do something, because like, these kids don't have to choose. They
Sure.
don't have to. So we were lucky enough where they got it rescheduled, but they're competitive in the classroom too. So I think it's just that mindset that no matter what you do, be the best that you can, you know, at it. And I think that we're lucky enough where the kids buy into it. And of course, when the freshmen get here, they're playful, they're jokesters. But I think having upperclassmen, hey, like,
That gets set straight quick.
like,
Yeah.
hey, grades are important. You got to, take care of your classes. Hey, you got to be at practice. Hey, you got to get better.
Yeah.
So I think just the mindset is the key that's helping us get better every year.
I think there's some context that needs to be said about when they're talking about regionals too. Is that you compete, and Coach, you can correct me when I'm wrong here, but you have boys singles, girls singles, boys doubles, girls doubles, and mixed doubles. So there's 5 things that you can qualify to regionals in. But in spring tennis, you only take the top 2.
Yes.
So you have so there's 10 spots to go to regionals. Am I saying that right?
There's
much?
10 spots, yes.
Yeah. And they had 8 kids. Well, they didn't take 8 of those spots.
Sure.
But they had 8 kids go.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? And I think in one of them, we were playing each other for the championship and everything. And one of them as well, that they both went in the same one and everything. So just to kind of get the context.
What's that
of
bus ride
that,
home like?
yeah, right? That's the context of it, is
So
to understand that.
In our district, there's 16 players that advanced to regionals.
Okay.
And we had 8.
8. Wow.
Of the whole entire district.
And then to kind of bring that into the whole of Southwest ISD, Southwest, their whole team made it to the semifinals
Yes.
as well and everything. So, I mean, like, just that's pretty awesome.
That is awesome. Any other last comments for our
I just
incredible
want to
tennis
thank you
team?
guys for being awesome student athletes
Yeah.
and stuff, and Coach Gomez and Coach Beltran for their leadership. We talk about them all the time. It's great to have them on the show finally.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for making time for us. Really appreciate you. And Coach, I'm going to be bothering you next year for Beyond the Arches and Scoreboard. and all.
We're waiting to see who we match up against.
We love talking.
Because if
to you.
anything, I'm gonna put Brandon in the front, and I'm gonna serve.
Wow.
I may miss once.
Wow.
I may miss.
We'll see. Well, if we do it, I promise you it will be recorded just for content purposes, and it will be the
And
most
it will be
viewed.
in the morning because he doesn't like the sun.
That's right, and it will be the most viewed YouTube video on Southwest ISD TV. Thank you so much, Legacy Tennis. We wish you guys the
But he
absolute
doesn't
best
keep his
of luck.
promises because he's supposed to have already swam
I was supposed to
too.
swim
He was supposed to
against-
swim against somebody.
another regional.
Yeah,
qualifier.
exactly. That didn't work either.
We're gonna do it eventually. let me figure out.
Put you on the
things.
dive team.
Yeah,
Cannonball.
yeah. We'll see what happens, but we appreciate you and we wish you guys the best of luck. Thank you guys so much for taking time for us, and we're looking forward to another big senior year. So we might have you guys in these seats again next year. So thank you so much. My name is Brandon Medina. That's Peter Wagner. This has been the Southwest Legacy Tennis Team, and this is the Scoreboard Podcast. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, we are
Southwest.
3, 2, 1.